Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for stopping by, for tuning in at this magnificent quantum time. I hope that in meeting me here, that you too are met with the energy of divine inspiration to activate itself within you so that you can be divinely inspired to do whatever's next for you, or to continue to do what is. Right, so many things just went through my mind. There's no edits here. Okay, yes. Right, so it's interesting. It is interesting. What did I put it? Oh. It is interesting. The current energies that have this somber, like, feel, vibe, isolation, going into hermit mode now, time, yet still being productive in the earthly domain of things, right? It's like a higher activated level of evolution that we each are on, varying in degrees based off of our own experiences. You know what I mean? But it's like this speeding up of time. It's like, where is time going, right? It's like, what? Today is what date? It's what? 2021, right? And it's just like, what? It's already almost February? And, you know, it was just the holidays, or it was coquito season, right? But yeah, there's also this slowdown during this current speed up. And remember, everything is always perception. It's always a matter of where you are that's going to reveal the eye that sees, whether you process it as those kind of things or not, you know? Anyways, so there's a lot of, like, I like using depictions. I speak poetry. It's my go-to form of creative expression. It's the instant energy that I go to naturally to express myself, whether it be verbally or on paper or wherever. Baby, spectators be growling. It be like that sometimes. Let them growl. That bite don't hurt. It's the distorted illusion that hurts. Right? And that's the interesting part, right? So, although I speak of astrology and I apply all universal levels of our current day understanding of astrology in all its shapes and forms and belief systems and practices that vary between culture and, you know, whatever. There are so many forms of astrology existing all around, and it's just a matter of preference or resonance, right, as we like to call it. And so that's where I'm at in everything, right? It doesn't, my today truth doesn't mean it's my forever truth. It means this is what I desire at this moment in time, that this too shall pass, kind of thing, right? Understanding, overstanding that, you know, everything is fluid, right? And I like that because, right, looking at the astrological transits, I'm like, just out of morbid curiosity, I was like, let me tap in, let me see what's going on, because that's another thing, my friends, like part of my own evolution of a lot of things, never came from other sources. It always came from my own experience. And then it was through my research or my stumbling upon, you know, or encountering other external stimuli of information shared, downloaded, you know, received to expand on different kind of things or whatever. But like all my spiritual experiences have been behind the scenes, right? So, which created the connection I've always felt I was connecting or connected, right? And it takes, you know, time sometimes for even that to be realized, right? Because we are so conditioned to operate in a falsehood or in a projection of something. And so that's why if we really broke down our roles in life that we play, we would realize we have many characters that participate in the delivery of whatever it is that you produce from your own vessel, right? Right? So it's all a matter of where you're at and what you do and what you vibe and all these things too. Whatever. This process is daunting for me too, to get into this level of comfortability, to just be so right, and just do. So these are new cards too. So I actually don't know. They're going off of the traditional 78 tarot, major and minor arcanas, but it's giving it a different take in terms of how each of the major and minor arcanas are going to be interpreted. So it's like, you know, an added on message. And so without really knowing about this tarot deck or ever hearing about it or, you know, come across, I happen to go to this esoteric shop that I love, Rocky's Crystals in Millburn, New Jersey. Yeah. Right? And I saw the box, you know, sometimes, you know, people are clever. You know, it's not cleverness either. It's just art, right? That something captures your eye, and so it did. And the name in itself captured my attention because everything I do is quantum. That's one of my most overused words, is quantum. I found a place for quantum and everything. Right? So the deck, it's called Quantum Tarot. Anyways, so I'm shuffling that, and also the healing mantra deck, because I just feel like a lot of applied healing is happening for those that are going to resonate with this message. It's like putting into application the things that you have awakened to and have learned now. Because to know is to allow yourself the opportunity to evolve. Because to know, you can know a lot of things, but you can do shit with that information. And just yeah, I'm just an informationalist. With no applied practice or knowledge or discipline in this information that I just contain into my, system. Computers, are inspired creations of, our computations, and here I am idolizing a computer as if it's grander than I, right? AI. Technologies that copy you, and then you admire its creation. Meanwhile, you created it. Kind of thing. I don't know why that went off, but whatever. So, I'm just going in. But anyways, the energies, right? Of, yeah, I was saying astrology. Duh. The energy is going in, out of morbid curiosity. That's what I'm saying. I tapped in, and I just went to the one that I gravitated towards first, right? That I gravitated. So that means I see 1,000 things at once, and it's the one I gravitate towards first, right? Got it. Get it? Good. Right? So that one. And so, I saw the planetary placements, which I'm like, for the most part, in, Western astrology, I don't even know the date. The date over here. We're still in the Capricorn energy, right? And then, did it already transition for Vedic astrology into Capricorn energy now? I don't even know. But either way, the influence of both, right? Sagittarius and whatever, it's still all, in the air, in the ethers, because there's no beginning, there's no end. There's a beginning, but there is an end. But there's no beginning, but there's no end. Yeah, meditate on that, right? Right. This is a quantumly healing channel, so no matter what, you're gonna feel better. No matter how long you stay here. I get to it. The gift is in your patience, your temperance to receive the gift. It's part of the lessons. I've learned that too in my time, to just, it is for those that it is for. And that's it. Right? Bueno, leave it like that. And then you move along happily, because you do your own thing. That's the thing. The lessons that we have taken a long time to apply, not learn, to apply. It's being present. Slightly too. in our energies, because the planetary alignments support that kind of vibration or allowance of types of recall, memory, experience to become a possibility due to it being a variable of a possibility. But we're not gonna go all the way into there. Either way, what was I saying? Okay. Breathe. 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 Give me 1 second. Hello. So, it's just talking about all of these messages are timeless. Whenever you find yourself here, understand, overstand that it is because there is all of these kind of messages are collective messages for those that are gonna resonate in some kind of energetic way. You know, let go of the example that one might convey to share. It's the energy that is being shared, you know, and take it and apply it or relate to it through your own experience, you know, that kind of thing. Anyways, it's really late here. 2:13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Great, harmony. That's what I just heard right now. Harmony. The harmony that you have worked so much for, diligently too, because the essence of you that desires that leveling too doesn't make one exempt from mistakes. You know, we all, you know, and it's not even so much mistakes, it's, you know, we did what we did, right? Accountability, right? So, lessons. Sometimes, you know, we do wicked things because in order to find its elixir, you must know its vibration. Because in the creation of anything, the entire thing is made, meaning both its existence and its opposite and its totality. If that makes sense. I speak colorfully. Right. Anyways, the energies. These messages are timeless. It's collective, so there will be pieces, but either way there is healing to be received. There is alchemy to be received. And that's just me being me. And so, welcome if you're here. And babbling is something that you can inner channel and comprehend, because you too have so much that you receive, right? It's the learning of how to function with so many of these energies, right? But anyways, that's not about that. what was I saying? Right? So the current energies of time that are like going really fast. We are hermit, taking a step back, but not. We're just going in. Because for the first time ever, enough is enough. Application is necessary. It's just the practicality of it all. And it's not even a debate. It's an alchemy infused. And so even that alchemy is not necessarily in tune with the dominating earthly energies that is operating still under the distorted or prehistoric or generational energy that appears to be ruling or the most common, right? And so here you are, woke. That's not a joke. And the grueling process of it all feels motherfudging lonely. Most times even if you have a nice little circle that will flatline, every circle is going to have to flatline, whether it reconnects or not. Because you are to be the builder of the circle that is infinite. So it's not a circle. A circle is kind of like a trap. Talk about that, I guess. It might evolve into a coaching platform, portal system, because there will share exclusive information and a lot of stuff. But that's not what this is about. So it's like, I think that the other day someone said my head was tired. I was like, I've been called hard-headed my whole life. I'm hard-headed, right? And I giggled because I've been hard-headed my whole life. Right? As genius as we can be, I can be silly and gullible or stupid or foolish. Still, we can be, right? It's the human side of me, right? Or I like to blame it on those kind of things, right? But it's not blame, it's accountability, because each facet, each part of my expression, my role, right? That's what we were talking about before, right? Like if we were to really see that we fragment into different parts to play different roles that require different characteristics and different applications of our vessel to function in this perceived reality, then if we're not acknowledging that as that, then chances are most people are just operating in all these different functions and roles absentee from the whole entire experience, a shell of their own entire existence. That's what I described abuse like. I was a shell of my own existence. Right. And through conscious observation, right? Detaching from the entire experience, just observing, right? Case study, right? Just observation, keen observation, patterns, behaviors, conditions that do exist and do create certain ripple effects, right? Most people operate absentee from their roles that they find themselves having to play or be. And then when they get that moment to get into the me, they avoid it like the plague. This is when you get escapism for days, right? Because nobody wants to deal with the pain or the root, right? Because it's uncomfortable. It requires you to feel. It requires you to address, right? It requires you to walk through that fire if you want to heal from it. And most people activate the walking through the fire, but then some lack the knowledge of how to see through that distorted lens of creation and how it can and how they can see that even that view of some kind of failure too is distorted in view because you're still going through. You know what I mean? Like people timestamp everything as if though that's it, right? It's like I have to, like it's just like I don't know. I'm trying to articulate certain things that all go through me, like, and then it's like scroll. Right. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't even know. Give me a moment. Hello. And pause. I have inner dialogue with myself and still can't remember what the fudge I was saying. All I know is I babble. And that's how it's gonna be. I'll finish incomplete, going through different ways, and then coming back and saying what I gotta say. That's how it is. And that's how it's gonna be, right? With the structure of everything, there's a purpose to it on, right? Either way, I'm answering divine call, right? It's practical magic. It's aligning in your truth at this time, during challenging times still, right? It's not like, oh, just because I alchemize and align and do everything that is true and authentic and real and all, you know, the abundance and that in itself is real, and the manifestation, wow, whoa, surreal, right? But that doesn't make one exempt from ordeal, right? Or just the surrounding influencing energies that even if you're having a smooth like, you know, transition through, you're still not exempt too from the going through, because you feel it too, even if it's not your personalization of it. Because I feel everybody's shit, right? There's no like off switch, right? You can't unsee what you see. You can't unknow what you know, right? It only keeps on growing. And so the amplification of like all of this, it's like applied mechanics. Like you're at a state of your own evolution that you can't even tolerate your own bullshit, and so you have no, like, it's just complete alignment. Like, cut it. Like cutting out for real what does not serve you, and seeing what you're actually receiving and knowing, but always having like a blind eye to certain kind of things. Like, it's just like being an empath or just into it, right? And knowing when someone is being fake with you, but because you're kind, and because it's not even worth your time to even just, you know, whatever, but you have to, for whatever, you know, reason, communicate with this kind of individual for this purpose or being, whether it be work related, life related, it doesn't matter. Just because you have differences or don't like someone doesn't mean that, wow, wow, throat chakra clearing, okay? Does not mean that you can't be cordial. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't be cordial with someone, you need to check yourself. For real, for real. Even if it's the most hard thing in the world, trust me, I played with every freaking kind of scenario in my head, and I'm like, oh no, no, no. You know, there's certain things that you think unfathomable, like you're just like, no, right? But you gotta go through those uncomfortable moments to transmute. But anyways, that's not what this is about. What is this about? I don't even know. I just hit record. Just I feel glad to do. It's about me being consistent and applying my learning. But that's pretty much where we're going back to in our story, right? Like, right, rewiring the nervous system, right? Rewiring our whole entire system of I find strength in surviving my traumas, right? Rewiring the nervous system, so that is kind of like what's happening. So even if you're going through challenges right now, or like something that is difficult, or even hurtful, or painful, or just hard, like fudge, like come on, like, can I catch a break? Or, you know, can it just be a smooth operator? Like, you know, and it's just like, you know, enough is enough, like, you know, like, or just like fungal stuff, like energy, like, like, really? You want to be coming into my mix to be my disturbia? Why do you gotta harass me or involve me with your wicked madness, distorted sadness that you wanna involve me or funk with me. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the energies we're having to deal with, you know. Yeah. You know, see, that was uncomfortable for me to say, oh, my condolences. Like, you know, like, if, you know, we're dealing with, you know, transitional times or hard times or losing people in our lives that mean something to us, even if they're still alive, like, or not. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's just a process. And applying it healthily and consciously, when we realize, or if we're not, we're gonna realize right now that, wow, we still have to go through. And so we're going through successfully, triumphantly, healthily, rightfully, righteously, in alignment to, you see, divinely led, divinely guided, divine inspiration. And so in this speed up energy time on the outside, the distorted, like, just conditioned environment that is like playing speed up time. Like, I don't know, like sometimes there's just certain kind of like, I'm telling you, it's kind of like an avatar. It's like your avatar went to sleep for 2 days. You thought it was the 9th and it was actually the 11th. Like, where did 2 days go? Right? Like, was I abducted by aliens? Like, you know what I mean? Um, where it's just like, where is this time? Like, you know, like, going. But yeah, you're in the creation mode too, like receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy, right? Right? You're awakening, you're accepting, you're evolving, you're growing, you're channeling, you're inspiring, you're like blooming, you're glowing, you're radiating, you're healing, you're, you know, transforming, you're transmuting, you're sharing this, and it's authentic too. It's like you feel this, right? It's like it's through you, right? And it's still a bumpy ride. But this time I just feel like a lot of the energies are healthily doing what's right, and they need to acknowledge that too. Like, going into hermit and allowing yourself the time and the space to deal with your feels, right? And still create for real and just focus on um, what you've learned so that you can now apply this knowledge effectively and wisely, right? It doesn't, like I said, it still doesn't mean that it's not a tough transition, because you gotta go through the transition period, and that requires you to be present in tough situations, which typically, as we are generationally, like, you want to call it a curse, you want to call it whatever, you want to call it whatever, it's, you know, behavioral patterns and conditioning, that either way, right, that to operate a shell of our own existence, just robotically, right? So here you are, still seeing, you know, the reality, and this time accepting it or being present for it. And so, and dealing with, you know, tough things that are not easy to transmute, to transform, to heal from, to deal with. And here you are, beautiful, ancient, wise, rising in your own evolution, because you put in the work all the motherfucking time, not just right now, all the time. And this is the creation of all the things that you have done and do, that you are incubated, protected, divinely led, divinely protected, to afford yourself this golden opportunity to achieve new elevations, evolutions for yourself through quantum jumps into your own evolution that has allowed you to be present and healthy even when the going gets tough. Congratulations. You deserve a standing ovation. You wanna cry? No. In any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. Cultivating courage. Right. So yeah, so going back to like what I was saying about the planetary influences that are going now, even though, you know, universal pow, I understand things differently, and that I'm not elaborating on in this particular video, but I am sharing with you just you know, how I feel divinely led to share with you. Take it how you want to take it. May you take it beautifully, right? I find strength in surviving my traumas. Yeah, rewiring our nervous system, right? With knowledge. To know is to evolve, or to give yourself the opportunity to evolve with that knowledge that you need to apply in your life, right? Encountering conflicts, right? I don't choose sides, I take a stand, right? Anchoring your light. Anchoring the light is always within me, right? Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in my way, right? So understanding these things, right? We're healing through, seeing through the distorted illusion too. And it can feel a little bit lonely too, or just, you know, whatever. But scaling back, and using your personal energy wise, which has been the lesson for you for such a long time, to gift yourself self-love in honorable ways without feeling bad for treating yourself, for caring for yourself, for standing up for yourself, or, you know, speaking up for yourself, or having to cower or cover or tone down or whatever, you know, unapologetically me, right? Feeling that leveling of free. To unapologetically be you and allow your chocolate to me for this transformation to be whatever it is, however it is, because you are alchemized healthily. So it's not like you are being toxic any which way. You're honoring your system now, today. And it's like, hip, 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 hooray. Right? But look at the card that came up with the quantum. I'm looking at it. I don't know the meanings of these cards, but even though it's going for the 70, the the major and minor arcana, I mean, this looks like Ace of Pentacles to me. But I'm looking at it like I looked at it from the depiction here, and I see the centaur, right? And the centaur reminds me of Chiron. I don't know if I said it right. The wounded healer, right? Wounded healers. Healing. Quantum healing, right? It's magnificent. And look, but you're still birthing something new. And so Spirit wants you to see and acknowledge the blessing, the gift in this isolation, and this slow down that you're scaling back on, that you have nothing to apologize for. Do allow yourself to feel still so that you can heal, because that is part of your gift. That is a gift to so many, whether you want to do it for those reasons or not. You don't have to, but at least for yourself, oh yes, you should, because hey, why are you here? If not to serve yourself, then call it selfish. Okay, if there's not anything that I can ever be, is what? Selfish. Okay. Give me papa. No. That's for my husband. Right? So you got these wounded healers. Quantumly healing. Cultivating the courage through their healing to be the example, to be the energetic shift, not a phony shift, right? Those that mimic you to take from you, steal from themselves. They steal from themselves the opportunity to glow for themselves. Polishing my heart, right? So even through the encountering of any kind of conflict or challenge, you are in your alchemy at this time. It's passing. The energy is going to shift. But in the meantime, talking about the transits of the astrology, right? Right? The sun, right, is in Capricorn. And then the moon, interesting enough, is in Pisces. And Mercury in Aquarius. And Venus in Capricorn. And Mars in Taurus. Jupiter is in Aquarius. Saturn is in Aquarius. I find that interesting too, right? Right, so you get a lot of strong Aquarian, right, energy. Right, Aquarius is the final air sign, right? If you want to look at it in cosmic astrological perceived order, right? You have Gemini, the baby, the adolescent, right? Then you have Libra, the lover, right? Right? And then you have Aquarius, the visionary. I always associate Aquarius kind of like with the magician. It's like having all the tools and now needing to deprogram their lens of understanding of why they seek what they seek and do what they do, while being the way showers, the visionaries, the ones who implement the shift and change of the new that comes through their creative alchemy of evolution and solutions, right? Having finalized the mercurial energy of air, right? The traveler, how it is needed to breathe, right? Something like that. But and Jupiter is in this sign as well, and Jupiter is expansive, right? In concept, right? So something is expanding energetically in the Aquarian energy field of evolution that Saturn is also a part of. And we all know Grandpa Saturn has a lot to show us about tower-like feeling moments in our lives that require us to show up and deal with, right? Creating an entire revolution for our evolution, right? Saturn teaches. And you can perceive it however you need to perceive it, but most times because we be hard-headed, right? Saturn comes in as like the finalization of the evolution, right? And it's like, after my visit, all is straight. You heard? You'll be thankful later. But buckle up, buttercup. It's a bumpy ride, right? That's Grandpa Saturn. Grandpa Jupiter's like, ah. More positive and optimistic and seeing the outcome, but not focusing too much on the details of how it gets there, right? It's like, oh, expanding shit, right? So, on the same sign, so Jupiter, Saturn, right? So, for us, right, there is major transformation that is expanding our vision in transformational ways that our lives are forever changed. And then you have the moon energies in Piscean waters, which too is the final evolution of the water signs, right? Because you think of it in astrological order in terms of how our conditioning has taught us, because we put a place and label on everything. What's placement? You know what I'm saying? So, either way, right? So you have Cancer, the baby, right? Always on the surface layer of the ocean, going to the bottom. Then you have Scorpio. Let's get deeper. We go deep. We deep sea dive, right? Then you got Piscean, right? Final, perceived, right, as the final. But either way, it's the final evolution of the water signs in our astrological knowledge, right, based system. It's just for, explanation for this video. I'm just using what standard information that we know. And in our moon energies, in our fields, right, in our inner worlds, right, so right, and then you have Aquarian, Jupiter, Saturn effect, right, and these influencing energies, right, affecting different parts, houses, and positions and within ourselves, because we are multidimensional, right? And so our inner land are in our fields. Moon energy revealing what's really real, and we're in full connect with everything that's going on, from our most highest of high priestess type energy, right, that allows for the opportunity for creative solution to come into effect into how we now choose to navigate and handle things, situations, challenges, moving forward in a transformed way that we are applying and beginning to really fully understand now for our overstand. So, it's like incubation kind of like period, right? Incubation of tending to our own castle. I like a castle, right? Castles, right? And then Mercury is in Aquarius too. So think about that, like in the mercurial energy, right, of air signs, it would be that if air was all one sign, then Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius would be one evolution of one energy, having grown over time, having learned, if it learned, right, from its previous energies, right? So it's the evolution of the air energy, right? So the air quality, right, of things. So air, Mercury, language, our communications. So it would be safe to say that if we were to describe certain things in this kind of way, like the evolution of just one in the three, right? Then it would be safe to say that Aquarius would have then been the master, the magician, the master alchemist of that mercurial communication, because that is part of the system of operation to grow, to evolve, to learn, to illuminate, and to apply. That's why Aquarius will carry the torch and say, this is the solution to these other previous times, because I hold the key, and it's through my leveling of understanding, right, overstanding, and applying the knowledge that's being learned or conveyed or explained, to articulate it in such a new visionary kind of way, right? That's unique in every kind of way, that changes things, shifts things, be the way shower of that, right? Aquarius then gets put back on the astrological wheel of positioning and is learning to now, or having to learn now, because air's Mercury energy, intellect, right? Mind, right? That kind of like erratic, ecstatic energy operating from the mental plane stage, right? Um, so it's not so much that they avoid emotions in every kind of way, it's just not part of their entertain. And so now their position to grow on the astrological evolutionary wheel would be to master the element of water, right? Because it's the 11th sign of the zodiac, right? And so it's mastered fire, because Sagittarius is the final fire sign of evolution. And then after, then you have Capricorn, so it has Earth. That's why I always associate kind of the Magician card with the sign of Aquarius too, because of its position in the astrological wheel, and that's just the way I see it, and just understand it on a whole different level, as well as understanding that the Magician card, if you wanted to express element Earth, like it has every single element, so it can apply to any element actually. So, but either way, I just always associated that for the astrological part of it and its positioning to carry every single element tool. But heart is not an abstract tool or physical thing. That's the center of the soul. You know what I mean? And so Pisces comes after Aquarius. And so it's where Pisces energy would take that torch, right? And highlight where Aquarius left off in its vision to now take everything from all previous experiences to line. This is just the astrological wheel of time, right? Pisces has to process this, and we're the ocean, right? Primordial. Either way, yeah. So, right now, the energies that are influencing even just our communication, too, we have strong Aquarius energy. So here you are, right? Mastering the element of your own energy through self-care and love in the way that you should. Even if it's through sometimes, challenging moments. This too shall pass. Getting that. Right? You breathe. You breathe. You breathe. You breathe. Great. Ace of Pentacles. What energy of advice? What energetic advice can we be given at this time, or insight into the current handling of our now time, which it's a recalibration period. It's like the phoenix rising out of its ashes, right? But not, because it's not so severe and personalized. It's just the happenings of life, no longer victimized. But it doesn't mean one is exempt from the time, it has to present itself again to you in a certain kind of form so that you can apply its magic in your life to see, because we are conditioned to process and comprehend and compute things through visualizations. It's something that we are behaviorally accustomed to accept as truth and reality. We don't see something, it's hard for us to believe that it is real. So the conditioning to believe is to see, is to believe. But no. Faith doesn't have those kind of things. Right? So what kind of stuff? I see a sword. Is that a page? Swords? What is that one? Let me see. Let me see. Right. See? Page of Swords, Mercury. The Page of Swords is the archetypical student. He represents a desire to learn through communication, reading, or formal study. What is exciting? Your curiosity, right? So yeah, right? So in this incubation period, there's lots to be accessed. There's lots to be received. There's lots of information. There's lots of downloads. There's lots of evolution happening for you. There's lots of healing taking place, but in a cosmic, quantum, healthy way. Awesome, right? Even though it's, still challenging, granted, right? That's not taken away. And in this time of incubation, recalibration, right? You're emerging, renewed, right? Right? In that time, you, in your focus, during the time that you give to yourself to allow this transition to take place, the transformation you will embrace. And the message is on its way. Whether it be epiphany download or an actual message in itself. It's not anything that to be expected or long awaited. It's informational, it's useful, it's good. That's your gift. Another one. Not to say that's your only gift or that's a good. No, there's something there useful for you. In the meantime, keep going through in a healthy way. That recalibration of your energy that's taking place is phenomenal. It's needed. First in line to endure. Are you get it? Powerful you are. Yeah, it's powerful. Alright, I'm gonna explore here because I've been babbling. I don't know. I'm sure I left a lot of things out, and I'm sure I didn't finish a lot of things that I was, saying in and out of. It is what it is. Right? The point is that I'm healthily going through and allowing my own transcribe too, no matter how uncomfortable or challenging it can be for me. The light is always within me. anchoring light. Here I am, anchoring light. It couldn't have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt, shame, pain, behavioral patterns and conditioning, victimization. Transforming tragedy. Loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. What did we just say? Channeling in every kind of way, always. Healing heartbreak. I know. My heart will love again. Of course. Your heart is loving now. Let me tell you, one of the most hardest deaths for me dealing with in this life was my mother. I was so mad. So mad. There was nothing anyone can say to me that would make me feel any better about any of that. Because there was nothing that they can say that can take back the reality that I was being told was that she's not here anymore. Understand these are healing tears. If I wasn't able to talk about it, I wouldn't. I'm not in that state of pain. It transmutes, but it is an emotional healing that doesn't go away. You have to learn that. Just because someone's gone and you learn how to deal, right, doesn't take away the hurt that is for real. It sucks. I used to think, like, I finally watched the Truman Show recently. But, I used to hope that even in a reality, in some morbid reality, alternate reality, that if I was to see her again and she was to tell me that she had to pretend or fake her death, that even that I would be ecstatic just to have her back. All these scenarios in my head, anything to not accept the fact that, no, you're telling me that she cannot come back here. That hurts. That hurts. I was angry. And I didn't want to hear nothing about nothing. She was a topic for years that wasn't allowed to be brought up because I couldn't talk about my mother. I'm glad I evolved from that because that was a painful place to be in. I'm glad I don't live there anymore. You know what I mean? And, you know, one of my early on most visible of gifts were my dreams. I had intense dreams as a kid. I started keeping a dream journal from before the age of 10 because it was advised to me to do that because of the dreams that I had. Okay? And expanding our inner power. We're expanding our inner power. Okay, hold on. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. What was I saying? I forget things. I think of right. Dealing with feelings that are hard to deal with. You know what I mean? That be revealing. Oh, right. That's what I was going to say. So, one of the things that just very potent for me were my dreams early on, amongst other things. And, just to help me with those. When she died, I dreamt. I was grateful for that. I told that story for so long. The dream I had of my mother the night that she passed. And how she came to say goodbye. What a powerful story. But after, it would be rare if I dreamt with her. And whenever I did, it was powerful, it was potent. It was real. It was like, what? Like, whoa, what's happening here? But because I understand this better now. But because I wasn't healed from the loss, I blocked my connection with my mom, which was always potent. But because I couldn't accept the reality that hurt, I carried for so long a pain that it really was unnecessary. Right? And I'm a potent seer. I see things people don't see. I hear things people don't hear. I dream things. And just lots of other stuff. Right? I got to see her again. And I was sober. And that was transformational for me too, and evolutionary. Because I got to understand a lot of other things differently. There are many things that we're not going to be able to understand in this positioning of awareness and consciousness that we each find ourselves on. But there's nothing that we can't get through. Okay? That's what I help with too. Check out my Evolve Intuit coaching platform, which is affordable in every kind of way. Starting off at $555 monthly subscription gets you in and uplifted and energetically allowing appreciation. Okay, yeah. So the value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. Oh, that's a right? So beautiful. Either way, so the energies now of our incubation state is applying practically the lessons of the things that may have not been so easy to float into or to acknowledge because of our conditioning that has us operating outside of ourselves. So we accept a lot of things that it's about time we're no longer accepting, right? Certain energies, certain just inner knowings, promptings, trust your gut. If you feel like someone doesn't like you, that person doesn't like you. You're right? Or distorted, depending on who you are. But for the ones that are chill and harmonious like me, that we don't got no beef with nobody, so when people have problems, it's just like, you're fighting yourself, but okay, like, why do you have to aggravate me for, like, just no more putting up with nonsense, right? And just shutting the door to that shit, right? And having to, like, snip, or just not engage anymore, activating your emotional, vibrational field that you work so hard to alchemize, to be triggered in certain kind of ways, and then fight or kick yourself in the ass for feeling a certain type of way that is now in disharmony with what you've worked so hard to achieve. Being hard on yourself too. that just makes you bleed. My ears, right? But yeah, so no longer being taken advantage of either. And just keeping sacred your energy, not feeding it to the hyenas. Snip, snip. Cut, cut. Deal, deal. Feel, feel. Heal, heal. Recalibrate. Even though things are going so fast. It's not a race. Anyways, gotta go. That was long. Yeah, so let us rise in our full, wonderful, divine alignment. I spoke in another video about years ago when I lost my curls and how I love my hair back into curly existence, even though my hair is straight right now. But what we speak it determines a lot of what we experience. But in order to understand what we speak it, we gotta understand how we feel it. That's the truth of it. Right? So thank you so much. If you received any form of what you have, whether you acknowledge it or not, help, assistance, raising of your own vibes, right? Which is, soothing, calming energy that you'll get from my energy that just even puts people to sleep. I tell you, I have people say, oh, I listen to your YouTube and it puts me right to sleep. Oh, thank you. Okay, it puts you to sleep. The seeds, I breathe, the alchemy that is I. I'm accepting of this world. These seeds I sow for evolutionary growth. My energy, sacred, here, greeting myself, divine, as I awaken more and more, I align, glow some more. These feelings, revealing, vibration, frequency, this healing, lungs, igniting, catalyst, demanding answers to the revelations that are being made clear. Justice is here, my dears. Spirit is here. Yeah, this is your opportunity to reciprocate some energy and like, comment or dislike or whatever, but engage. It also motivates and inspires me to continue to do what it is that I do, even though I'm still going to do whatever it is that I do as I feel. You know what I mean? Holy, feel real. This is real. I do what I does because I love what I does. Right? Beautiful. There is going to be one master link, right, of all links provided for you in the description box, right? That once you click on that link, it is our bridge of connectivity, connecting you and I on every single platform that you need to know for us to evolve and grow. together, I have other platforms too, so I offer lots of free content. I am a soul entertainer, right? This is evolutionary entertainment, creatively, freestyle, because I'm a freestyle lover. I'm an 80s baby, so freestyles I love, right? And that's just how I be. My spirit be free. Alright, till next time, because I gotta go, guys. It's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm a night owl, but I be an early bird too. Alrighty.